Hi, I'm Lanny, and this is Preserving Today. Today, I want to show you how I make Labneh balls. Labneh is a reduced yogurt. It's a thickened yogurt that's strained of its whey, and it becomes very dry, and you can actually handle it enough to make balls out of it, soak that in oil and herbs, and it's a delicious treat that you can use many ways. Do you see here behind me? I have my yogurt straining into a bowl. It's going to collect the whey, and once that's reduced down enough, then we'll come back to make the Labneh balls. You can also check out my other videos on how I make my yogurt from scratch here, or the link in the description below, and the video on how I make Labneh, which is what you need to do before you make the Labneh balls, here and again in the video description. But in short, in case you don't want to watch my other video, take some store-bought yogurt or homemade, put it in some kind of a cheesecloth to drain, hang it somewhere so that it can drip with a bowl to catch the whey. After it's hung for about 24 to 48 hours, you can take it out. It'll look like it's shrunk down. You can pour off that whey and save it for another recipe, and then place some paper towels on a plate to get ready to make your balls. Now I'm just going to turn this Labneh out into a bowl. And again, same as if I was just making a Labneh for a spread, I'm going to salt it and mix it really well. After it's salted and it's tasted, make sure it's going to taste salty enough. Go slow and add more salt if you need to, but you can't take it out once it's in there, so don't add too much to begin with. Then I'm going to just take a small amount of the Labneh and roll it into a ball. This is probably about a tablespoon or a little less. I'm not being exact. Ideally, your Labneh would be dry enough that it wasn't sticking to your hands. But in this case, I didn't get it quite that dry. I'm going with it anyway, and it'll be fine. So as I'm forming these balls, I'll talk about food preservation, which is what this channel is all about. And why am I putting Labneh, which is just strained yogurt? Why am I making a yogurt cheese into balls and submerging it in oil? And the reason is preservation. Milk doesn't last a long time. Yogurt makes it last longer. Reduce that down and cover it in oil. It can last even longer. Now, traditional recipes in Lebanon say that you can keep your Labneh balls shelf-stable room temperature for up to 3 months. There's a lot of information online about the concern about preserving things in oil because of the risk of botulism if there's moisture in the food. In this case, the Labneh balls are very acidic, and botulism cannot grow in an acidic environment. However, because my Labneh balls are on the wetter side, I'm just a little worried. I'm a little worried that I didn't do it just right. So for my case, I'm actually going to store these in the refrigerator in the oil. It's still going to protect it so that it's not going to get moldy and it's not going to dry out, but the refrigerator temperatures will also protect it from botulism. So I'm doubly covered. All the balls are ready, and now I can start to place them in my jar. I put a little olive oil in the bottom so they won't stick to the glass, and I start to put my Labneh balls in my glass jar. Most people just pile them all in there and then pour the oil over the top, and that's totally fine. I like to do mine in layers, little oil, a couple more Labneh balls, and it'll just help it so everybody's coated nicely in the oil and they don't want to stick together. This is a lot of olive oil. This oil is not going to be wasted, and you can still use this oil for salad dressings or anything else you would use olive oil for. And I'm actually going to make some za'atar Labneh balls. Za'atar is a Lebanese spice mix. It usually consists of thyme, toasted sesame seeds, some chili flakes, and sumac. So I'm just going to roll these balls one at a time in this za'atar spice blend, and then I'm going to place it into a smaller jar with some olive oil. One at a time, rolling these through and placing it into the jar and covering it with olive oil. Now I have these 2 beautiful jars of oil-covered Labneh balls. These will last in my fridge for 3 months, probably more. You can use these right away or save them for a while. They're going to go great spread on toast, eaten with chips or pita bread. It's even good on a bagel. That's how I preserve my yogurt cheese with olive oil. Have you made Labneh before? Have you ever tried preserving it in oil? Let me know in the comments. I'm Lanny, and this was Preserving Today.